Hi guys, it's Eddie, and I know this isn't usual material that I upload, but I just wanted to show this to you guys because there's a bunch of stuff that I have to say about this. So, if you've been following my channel and you've been updated with what I've been doing, you might know that I do have a power saves, and I don't really use it for anything other than Pokemon because that's really all I play on the 3DS. So, I'm just going to be showing you all of the codes as of today, which is May 20th. Yeah, Nintendo Wi-Fi closed today. So I've seen a lot of people misconceiving what power saves can really do. So I'm just gonna run you guys through it. So first we have three tabs here. It's PC/cartridge, power saves, and codes. So the first thing here is these are really backups and saves. So if I ever lose my Y cartridge, I can always just buy a new one and back up my save file and put it on that. Very reliable. And if you do have Pokemon Bank and power saves, there is an easy way of cloning, which I have done a couple times with 6 IV pokes actually. Because, for example, here it automatically backs up for every single time that you use and apply a code, so it happens a lot. So you might see here I'm mousing over what is named Squirtle Clone. I named that myself because one day I bred a 6 IV Squirtle and I wanted to clone it for my friend to use, and because it was competitively viable, so I wanted to make a clone. So what you do if you want to clone something with power saves, because there's not a direct code for cloning, what you do is you back up your file and you name it something that's identifiable like that, then you save that with the 6 IV or whatever you want to clone in one of your boxes. Then what you do is you go to Pokemon Bank, you move that into your Pokemon Bank, and then what you do is you click this, for example, and you could click Restore, which restores that save file. So everything really stays the same except that Squirtle comes back. So you really have two of them now. And I've used that for competitive Pokemon for my friends to use or just to trade away. And that's pretty much all that there is for this tab. And Power Saves is a tab that's not available for this game, and I haven't seen it used for any other game really. But this is the really big part. These are all of the codes, so I'm going to run through each and every one of them for you. So first we have Miscellaneous Codes, which are really just simple things here that are convenient. You can have cash maxed out to just right under 10 million. You can have 9999 battle points. I've done that because I don't want to keep grinding in the battle maze on to get battle items. And then you can get max Pokemiles and all TMs and HMs only if you've completed the story mode. So I'm just going to close that out now that we're done with it. And then our next one is tool item codes. This can be really convenient. You can have max item codes, then whichever item is in slot 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and whatever you select here, that makes it 999. So you could do that for max item codes. You could do that for Mega Stones. You could do it for something like leftovers or any held item. So, and then next in this slot we have item modifier in slot 1. We have Master Balls. We have all of these Mega Stones, and I want to see if the Latiasite is back. Yeah, the Latiasite has been back. I'm not so sure why, but yeah, I got it back when Latiasite, Latiosite, Diancie, and Az's Floette were all on it. The only codes I used were for Latiasite and Latiosite, which I do have. But after Nintendo made some legal threats, Datel decided to take it down. But it looks like Latiasite is back up. Nobody really knows why. And after all those Mega Stones, you could get these Evolution Stones, and you could get Heart Skills, which is very convenient. Destiny Knot, Leftovers, and all of the fossils, and Lucky Egg, Eviolite, Old Amber, all these Pokeballs and everything. So if you select one of these codes, you can do them one at a time. So what you do is what it does is it replaces whatever is in your slot 1 and makes it whatever item you selected in 999. So that's it for tool item codes. And recovery item codes are pretty much the same thing, except so we have all the wings here. We have berry juice for Little Cup players. We have PP ups and all these vitamins, and most notably rare candies. So I've used the rare candy one because it's quite convenient to get things to like level 50 if you want to use them on Battle Spot. And then we have berry codes, which are also extremely useful for a competitive player because you can get all of the EV berries. If you're unfamiliar with that, it increases friendship but lowers an EV in a specific stat by 10. So if you don't want to keep looking for reset bags, then you can just use those berries. And then we have this one that I don't really approve of, but I have used just for fun. You can put a Pokemon in box 1 in slots 1 through 10, and you can make them all shiny. It doesn't change the trainer name, so for example, if I have a Pokemon and I'm the original trainer, it'll keep the name Eddie, but it'll change the OT number to make its shiny code match your game, match the Pokemon, match the personality and unshiny Pokemon code. It just unshinifies, I guess, makes unshiny the Pokemon that you may have made shiny. And then we have box 1 Pokemon modifier codes. You could just delete eggs or Pokemon in bulk, so that's pretty convenient. I haven't used it myself. I just put everything into bank when I'm done using them. Then this is a really big one, Wonder Card slot 1 codes. You could get any event that's been released that they update here. Torchic, Garchomp, Scizor from Walmart, and then a bunch of Japanese events. I'm just going to scroll down here. And then we have Wonder Card Pokemon modifier and parentheses shiny. So this is a bit hard to explain. I'm going to mouse over, it's going to explain for me. So first what you have to do is use a code for Master Balls to get 999 of them in slot 1. Then you're going to what is it? Then you're gonna discard however many it requires to get to the national Pokedex number of whatever you want. So for example, Bulbasaur is number 1, so I would discard 998 Master Balls and keep it in slot 1, and then I would restart my game. Close my game, apply this code or this code below for the shiny one, and then the delivery girl is going to show up in the Pokemon Center and give you a random Bulbasaur, random nature, random IVs, and all that. And it can be regular if you do the first one, and shiny if you do the second one. So I guess if you're having super trouble finishing your Pokedex, especially since Pokegen is now closed because of Nintendo Wi-Fi being down, that can be a bit convenient. But I've already finished the Pokedex, so I don't use it. And then we have more events, and then these are just at level 10, because I believe the ones above put them at like level 80 something. And I don't know how these work, Shiny Charm and Oval Charm. I do have both of those obtained naturally in my game because I worked to get them. But I don't know if they even work if you hack them in like that. So anyway, let's move on. O-Power codes, this code can be useful, but really nobody uses too many O-Powers, especially because there's a way to hatch eggs easily. There's a code for hatching eggs easily, and you wouldn't need hatching O-Powers all that much. So alternate form codes, these aren't really hacks at all. This is just a way of convenience for you. Whatever you have in slot 1, and it looks like my computer's freezing up a little bit right now. So whatever you have in slot 1, if it's a Floette, Gorgeist, Vivillon, Deoxys, Rotom, or Pumpkaboo, you could change their forms. Like for Floette, you could change the color. Gorgeist, you can change the size. Vivillon, you change the pattern. Deoxys, you change the form. Rotom, you change the form, and Pumpkaboo, you also change the size. So I guess those are pretty useful if you don't want to. Well, actually, really useful for things like Pumpkaboo and Vivillon. It's just cool to have different patterns. And this is another one I've actually used because I am Korean and I understand it like reading wise to some extent, and I changed my X version to Korean actually just to see what it was like, and it was pretty cool. You could change your language, like they give you that option in the beginning of the game before you even start anything to pick a language and say you can't change it back. Well, with power saves you can change it back. It's pretty convenient. So next we have something that's pretty cool. You could change the country of origin for whatever Pokemon is in box 1, slot 1. This could help you use Pokemon for a Masuda method, and I'm sure many people can use that and put it to good use. And then this is the one that I use very often. It's a quick egg hatch code. So if you have a bunch of eggs, like I do it for every 5 eggs. So I have a Talonflame in my party, then I just collect 5 eggs, and then I save my game, take out my game card, put it in my computer, in my power saves, and then check off slot 2, slot 3, slot 4, slot 5, slot 6 when I turn on eggs hatch. So it's very convenient, saves a lot of time. Unfortunately, it hasn't gotten me a shiny, but I don't really mind. I only IV breed now. And then this is a really cool one for those who care about the aesthetic value of Pokeballs that a Pokemon is in. I do to some extent. You could change the ball that it's in, but know that this can actually change the legality of a Pokemon. Like, if you put a Pokemon in a Love Ball that shouldn't be, like, say you put a Charizard in a Love Ball, previous to Generation 5, actually, overall, it's impossible to have a Charizard in a Love Ball, because they should all be in Pokeballs. So it would not be able to work in things like Battle Spot. I've actually tried that out myself. So here's one that's not too useful, but can be used if you don't have Pokerust, which, like, pretty much half of my Pokemon do. You could set a Pokemon to have Pokerust or not. And then here's a pretty interesting one. I used it once for breeding. You could change the gender of a Pokemon, and I've actually tried it on a Kangaskhan to see if I could make one male, and it does work. So that can pretty much change something that usually shouldn't be. And then this is another really convenient one. If you get something in a trade that uses return competitively and you want it to have the max amount of damage, and you don't want to run around with a Soothe Bell and do all that crap, then you could just check these off, and you'll have max happiness right there. And then an experience modifier, I don't really know how this works. I haven't used it, but I'm sure it just changes the level, really. And then Pokepuff codes, I haven't used these either. It just gives you special Pokepuffs, I guess. Yeah, that's really silly. And then this is another one that they recently added. I have not used it, but I should, really. You could change your super training bags, and I would definitely put some reset bags in it, because they are extremely useful. And that's pretty much all the codes. That's really a lot of codes. They had a lot more unethical and, like, hacking ones and unreleased things, but after legal issues were threatened, then they just took everything down. But curiously, Latias is still up. So for those of you who do have power saves, you didn't really have to watch this video unless you wanted to find out about the cloning. And then for those of you who don't, this video is really for people who maybe want to get a power saves or just want to see what it does. And this is also for the people who say that power saves is like the Pokegen of Gen 6, because you think about it, no, it's not at all. It can't change EVs, it can't change IVs, it can only change things like gender and shininess, and just give you a bunch of items. So you saw the codes, I saw the codes. For those of you who are saying that it's like a Pokegen, it's really not. And I don't know why that just went out, but that's really okay. So this is the screen that shows up when you don't have your game in, but my USB port is just tripping. So anyway, that was pretty much all it, and I hope you guys enjoyed. If you made it to the end of the video, I'm extremely surprised, and thank you. So I'm just uploading this because I didn't really have anything to upload in the past couple days. I do have a pre-recorded episode of Pokemon Ruby, but I didn't really want to record a new episode, so I didn't upload that. And plus, I got a new pair of Turtle Beaches, but it turns out with my computer that it doesn't work at all, and that was really disappointing, because it should work with my recorder, but I have Windows XP, and that's just so outdated. So I'm actually looking into getting a new computer to really make my life much more convenient. So anyway, I'm rambling. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed and learned something new about power saves, and I'll catch you next time. Stay slick.